Wonderful. Okay, tell me, Keith, if we're live right now.
Yes, we are live.
Thank you. For everybody prepping for a hurricane right now, I live in the Caribbean, so I understand all of those pieces. So I'm sending you guys so much love and just saying, get out, stay safe, lock it up, whatever you need to do. I'll be praying for you guys, and so will a lot of other people watching right now, right, guys? Yes, put yes in the chat. If we are going to be praying for the people who are going through hurricanes right now, it's like getting hit really bad, really hard these days. I'm going to shift gears because we've got, for you guys watching us on social, we have about 15 to 20 minutes where I'm going to stream with you, and everybody on the Zoom, I'm going to reconnect with you, and we're going to hot seat and take this thing to action. Okay, so what is the topic today? Does anybody know? The topic is all around how to grow your business faster, and it's also the fact that there are so many people that I coach at this point in my career. Wanda, can you please not do that? There are so many people in my ecosystem that I coach at this point, and here's what I've realized: that I can take a new business owner, or I can take a business owner that has been in business for a long time, and eventually they hit a certain level of success, and then they hit a ceiling. Okay, and sometimes that ceiling is, okay, I'm making the money that I thought I was going to make, or everything's good, I'm just going to double down. It's kind of like you prayed for an opportunity for someone to tell you how, and oh, something's going on, Keith. There's some, okay, there. You pray for an opportunity for somebody to tell you how to do something, and then you feel like, if I just double down on this, I can just kind of coast, or I could figure it out on my own. Okay, so I share this with you because thinking about going to the next level in anything in life is so much better when somebody is in front of you that gives you these steps. And what I can also tell you is, if you're working with a coach, or you're working with a consultant, or you're married, or you're in a serious relationship, there is this thing that we take for granted, and that is our own responsibility on we're going at the speed in which we drive. Okay, and here's what I mean by that. When, it's kind of like, I think back to before I knew this, I would kind of wait for my coach to tell me what to do next. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Yes. And the problem with that is your coach doesn't really, like, they know you, they know some of your ambition, but they don't know what happened yesterday. Right? They don't know if you got hit with a big tax bill. They don't know if your house, your house had major damage, and they just don't know. And if I know anything about myself and know about people, is humans shift and change, and it's like every year we kind of evolve and we gain wisdom. And when we gain wisdom, we start to recalibrate what's important to us, right? Yes? Are you with me right now? Put yes in the chat. So when I take a new business owner, existing business owner, sometimes this ceiling looks like I haven't been able to break through to the next level. And sometimes this ceiling is like, I'm good, I'm just gonna take over, I know enough now, and this is just the reality. And sometimes this ceiling is, I'm actually gonna pull back. Oops, I'm gonna pull back. This is a very dangerous one. Okay, I'm gonna pull back. I want my life to look differently. What is that song that keeps happening? I don't know what keeps happening with the song popping up on here. Apparently we need to be serenaded or something. So I don't know if you're in a ceiling moment right now, but that's kind of the topic of what I'm going to talk about today: how to grow faster in your business, and how you don't need to know everything. And it's so inspired by my own growth, but it's also inspired by seeing the ceiling in, enough times with enough clients. Thousands of clients at this point. I've coached over 20,000, 21,000 people at this point that have gone through my ecosystem. And so I've kind of figured out that this ceiling looks pretty much the same, packaged in a different way. And what happens is you don't know what you don't know. I don't know what I don't know. So here's how you grow faster. Number one, you need to have something to give. Okay, you need to have something to give, Dawn, right? Holly, you need to have something to give. So this is a decision moment. So I'm going to put a D. What am I going to give? Okay, so I'm going to give you some ideas, and you need to do some work. Okay, you need to think about this. This is homework, okay? And so if you're in a Mentor Me Live client, then go post it in the Facebook group and get feedback from us. If you're not, then run it by somebody and make a decision that you're not gonna sit on something. So to give something, I have to think, do I wanna give Shanda on demand? Right, like this live? Do I access on the Zoom? So do I wanna give a PDF? Okay, go in the chat right now. What's an example of a PDF that you could give as a lead magnet? Something that you could give. Go in the chat because you know what's gonna happen. I don't have enough time to brain dump this with you, but there's some of you guys out there that have great ideas right now. Go in the chat. What is a great giveaway for a PDF on a lead magnet? Go in the chat, okay? Top 5 hormone hacks, yes. How to lead AI and generate copy, yes. What else? Come on, guys, let's go. Hit the chats. How about my morning routine? How many of you guys want to know how I am so uber productive? And here's the real benefit gift, like how I never get overwhelmed, right? How do I build 2 companies? I'm a mom. I have some big dreams and goals. And I also have a personal goal that I've been working on for the last 6 years of my life that hasn't yet completely materialized. And so there's that kind of heaviness on that and keeping myself committed to something that hasn't happened yet. You guys follow me? So how do you get it all done and not get overwhelmed? That's a great PDF. Right now, after I drop that PDF and I give it away for free, I can, and by the way, we have a virtual assistant company that could build stuff like this out for you if you don't have it. Okay, so if you need a VA, put the word VA in the chat. Okay, because when I'm running through this stuff, you do not want to sit on an idea for too long, because if you sit on an idea for too long, guess what happens? It becomes part of the to-do list and the thing that rocks your confidence and takes you away. Okay, so you can go to hiremypeople.com, hiremypeople.com, and you can hire my people, and they will help build this out if you get an idea today. So I can give a PDF on how not to get overwhelmed, which would be how I run my priority focus, how I actually set my goals, and how I set 3 goals a day that lead into 3 major goals in a week. And it's how I don't get overwhelmed and don't spin. So I can tell you that, but you don't really know how I do it, right? But to let you in my brain and actually even video me doing it, that would change the game. Does that make sense? So that's a great free giveaway. Well, once you registered for this for free, I could offer something paid. Now that could be my runway journals, right? I actually have a full-blown journal that I've created because this is how I manage my mind and I manage my money and I manage my time, my runway journals, right? So I use this thing all the time. Right? Like it's set up for brain dumps. It's set up for my priority focus. It's set up with my calendar. It works. I got priority focus goals. Like it works. Does that make sense? So you can see how this would be a natural next step. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Yes? Right? This would be a natural next step. Now, here's what's wild. While I'm even training this and using this as an example, if I actually had that built out, which I don't, I could drop a link right now to everybody watching and pin this live on the top of Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Do it imperfectly. And do you think that people would take this? Put a yes or no. How many of you guys want to know how I run so productive and I don't get overwhelmed? I haven't been overwhelmed. It doesn't matter if I get completely hit, I don't get overwhelmed because I know how to organize my brain and my time to be able to actually work on things that get results. I don't work on anything, I get results. Does that make sense? And so that's why I created this, right? So if I had a link, I could drop that right now. So do you have something for free that you could give away? I could give away a Zoom class. I could give away a 3-day event, or not give it away. I could give away the benefits of it. I could give away, like I have a 3-day event on how to build a list. Imagine if I gave away like a template on how to develop a message that would monetize, or a message that would scale beyond you having to work it all the time, right? Or how to whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like I could give something free away first, and then I could make on the next page a paid opportunity to come to my 3-day event. Do you guys follow me here? So number 1, that's not the main training for today. Number one is you need to make a decision on what is it that you're giving away for free, and then what are you selling next? Okay, homework 101. Like, you could use that lead magnet for the next 3 years of your life. And if you don't like who goes through it, then go back and read and go, am I lead magneting? Am I pulling in? Am I attracting people who I want to work with? Or am I attracting people who bail on me? People, somebody's got background noise, by the way. People who bail on me. People who don't have the money or won't find the money. I was a girl who didn't have the money at one point in my life. I'm still a girl going to a next dream that I don't have the money for the next dream. But I've learned how to become resourceful because I took a leadership training years ago, and now I own that leadership training. And I use those principles to be able to create a result. Does that make sense, you guys? And so I share that with you because I don't care if somebody has money or doesn't have money. I want a mindset. And that's what we're really talking about today. I want a mindset of somebody who's resourceful, because I think that's the type of customer or client that I want. So if I don't like the people coming through my decision number one, lead magnet, I need to ask myself, am I speaking to a mind that I can relate to, or am I speaking to a mind that triggers me? Okay, so I'm gonna leave that step. Are you guys good? Yes? Guys, so I know you have a million questions. I know you want more in-depth information, but what I would tell you if you were coaching with me is I want you to go make a decision on that and then ask me. And then we can do some good work, because then I know where you're thinking. So here's the topic of today. Once you have that, you can grow really, really fast. So I know that you want to go learn Instagram and TikTok and Pinterest and Rumble. I gave up the desire to learn all those steps. In fact, have you ever bought an information course and left it in your inbox? Like, you paid for it, you left it in your inbox. I just did this. It was so funny. I just did this, and I started to laugh at myself. I was like, I'm never gonna listen to that $2,000 course. I'm never gonna listen to it. But I'm not the girl that goes back and asks for a refund. I'm the girl that's like, yeah, I bought it. Maybe on a plane ride somewhere, I won't feel guilty and I'll finish it, right? But I don't want to learn how to grow an Instagram page. I don't want to learn how to grow a TikTok page. I think about TikTok and I think I got to shake my butt, and I don't want to be that girl, right? But that's not true. It's not true. If you go look at whatever our excuses are for not going on a platform, you will see people just like you that are optimizing those platforms. So where does that lead me? Think like a CEO. Okay, or a queen or a king. Does a queen do everything in the castle? Does a king do everything in the castle? No way. Right? They don't know how to do their accounting. They don't know how to run a proper management meeting. They don't know how to do any of that stuff. What they know how to do is lead a vision and to motivate people. So ask yourself, are you thinking like a CEO, or are you going to spend the next 10 years of your life figuring out how to do all of the things that you need to do to be able to be successful in business? Well, what makes you successful in business? You must have leads. If you have leads and you're bad at your offer, you suck at sales, you will still make money. Why? Because a percentage of these leads will be just like you, and they'll get you. And every time you speak, they'll be like, I get you, and they will buy. Okay, the other percentage takes skill. Okay, so what do you need to do? Okay, so you need to pick up the speed. You need to pick up the speed of everything because of the transition in the world right now, right? If it's true that real estate in the US, at least, I don't know about the other countries, will be gobbled up and owned, and will become a renter's economy within the next 5 to 6 years. If that's true, I don't need to debate with you if that's true or not. If it's true and those people are right, that's a bad move for my son. Do you get what I'm saying? Because he's 9. He ain't buying a house in the next 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. He's just probably not, right? So I need to be a bigger woman. I need to be a less lazy mom. I need to be smarter. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Because smart can make up for some laziness. Okay, so what does that look like? Here's what I'm doing. Okay, so you guys are meant to be live. I got a call with you guys in 45 minutes. We're gonna go deep on this, okay? So I gotta be on TikTok, even though I don't wanna shake my butt. I gotta be on IG. I gotta be on Facebook. Now, the traditional way of training business says, and there's still some of my peers who say this, and they're not wrong on it, is get good at one platform and dominate it, and then spread amongst the other ones. I agree with that, that works, but the problem is that it's too slow. I'm 15 years into my company now. I need to do what I did over the last 15 years inside of 3. Okay, now part of the reason why it took me 15 years is I didn't have a big enough vision. Okay, like I just didn't have I didn't know what I didn't know, I didn't have big enough vision. And when I started, I just wanted to know some of the people I saw on IG or Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to be someone who could influence like that. So I held myself really small. There's a big cost to that. I'm not gonna go into that, but there's a big cost to that. So here's the strategy. Knowing I wanna be on Rumble, now you can tell my belief system, right? I wanna be on Rumble, I'm not on Rumble. I have an account on Rumble, I haven't done shit on Rumble yet, but I need to go do something on Rumble. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and anything else the big social companies start to push out that are going to lead magnet my people. LinkedIn. Okay, so here's what I did. I made a decision on what my lead magnet would be, right? I made a decision on what my lead magnet would be. And then what I said is, I'm already strong on Facebook. I'm pretty good on Instagram, but I don't have anybody to own, oh, Pinterest too. I love Pinterest. So I said, I don't have anybody to own. I have somebody to own my Pinterest who can also own my IG. The rest of them, I'm in La La Land. Okay, so I was like, I'm gonna go hire a specialist for all of these areas. Now, don't hang up on me if you don't have the money to get a specialist, okay? I got you. Okay, so remember, the whole point is the more leads, I can be terrible and still make money. Okay, like you can be terrible. That's why if you're trying to get this right, trying to get it perfect, trying to be good on TikTok, trying to be good on Instagram, you're already behind, because that mindset, remember, you're attracting a mindset, but you have to be a mindset to grow faster. Okay, so what you want to think of is you want to, actually, I'll move to this. What you want to think about is, if I hire a specialist for TikTok, I want to monetize my first decision, which is, what is my PDF, what is my Zoom class, what is my 3-day event, whatever the lead magnet is, it needs to lead to money. Do you get what I'm saying? It needs to lead to money, whether it's a $47.99, $144, like I have a $144 offer after somebody jumps into something that's converting at 30%. So 30% of the people are taking this $144 offer. Okay, and people be, what is it? It doesn't matter. That's not what matters. Because if you do it and it's wrong, you keep adding to it until it gets right. Okay, so if you make a decision and it doesn't work, you keep adding to it, you keep adding more value to it, and then it will become right. You have to be that type of leader. Mindset. You have to be that type of mindset. Guys, follow me? So I go out and I start looking for contractors. Right? I have some of these, SEO is a big one. And video and voice SEO is huge, because that will dominate my future on Google. So it's like, shoot, there's so much, right, you guys? There's not so much if we know what we're gonna give away and what we're gonna ask them to buy next. We can make that decision all today, okay? And if you're a basket case on that, you need to stop. You just need to make a decision, because you're trying to be perfect or get it right. And that mindset is not gonna work, okay? So my metrics in my head is, I need contractors that specialize in all of these areas and they all need to go through my lead magnet and then convert to some money, because that some money tells me I have a qualified person. Does that make sense? And whether it's me or a sales team or person, they need to go take that person who purchased something and convert them to a higher ticket something, 3,000, 2,000, 10,000, 20,000, 60,000, whatever. Are you guys follow me here? Simplify this. Because if you and I try and master all these platforms, and we're the posters, we're the creators, we're all these things, we are in big trouble. Because for some of us, we don't even have enough life left on the runway. And for others, we just don't want to do it. And so we have a high resistance, right? And others, it's like, oh, I love this social stuff, but you can't do all that. You know what I mean? You just can't do all that. But if you can pull leads off of all of that, now, what if you have none of this? That's what a specialist can do. Like literally. So I found, so my Pinterest girl that I hired a mentor for, because I've been on to this game for a while, I was like, I hired a mentor for her because I don't have time to mentor her. And the truth is I don't know how to mentor her on Pinterest, right? Like, I don't know how to. So I hired a mentor, she mentored her, and she got my organic traffic crushing it, but it wasn't monetizing. So I went and I found 2 Pinterest people, I found 2 TikTok people, a couple LinkedIn people, and what I found on these virtual assistant sites is, although they all look good, somebody then has to manage them all. So then I ran into another block, right? Like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going and getting all these virtual assistants from all over the web. And I'm like, I'm in a mess again, because it comes back to me. And I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I got soccer practice, I got my own stuff that I need to do, right? Like I've got to create, like I want to create more lead magnets, I want to do more trainings, like you guys get what I'm saying? Like the platform needs me to create the content, needs me to give my point of view. I can't do that and manage these guys. So then what I did is I went over to my virtual assistant company, which is hiremypeople.com. And I said, Steven, I'm gonna start funneling you people because I need you to manage these people under the direction of, and I set a metrics. Okay, so if I spend $2,000 on a person, right? If I spend $2,000 on a person, I wanna make 300% revenue off what I spent. So 2,000 times 300%. I want to make that in a year off that one hire. Do you guys get what I'm saying? That's how you can scale. I want to be there where the monthly within 60 days. And that's the metric. Does that make sense? So I don't want to pay $2,000 a month times TikTok, times YouTube, times LinkedIn, times, you know, whatever, Rumble. You guys get what I'm saying? Like that's expensive and that hits my bottom line. I want to monetize month 1. Okay, so what if my lead magnet didn't work? Is this helpful, you guys? Put yes if it is. If you think somebody should be watching this on social right now, put the word watch this or words watch this, right? Like encourage people to get this. So nobody, like a good business owner, even if you had a lot of money, well, I shouldn't say that because there's different strategies. I have friends that take no paychecks, they go negative cash flow, they raise money, and they exit their companies in 5 to 6 years for hundreds of millions of dollars. Is that smarter or is my way smarter? I think the $100 million is smarter in 5 to 6 years. But you have to have a leadership, a mindset that can handle that. Because any single one of us can go raise capital. Every single one of us. There is a who that can 100% raise capital for you and take a percentage of equity in the build, but you have to be the type of mindset that somebody would invest in. Do you see how this all, mindset is everything. And it's so, when somebody says the word mindset, people don't understand that word anymore because it's been so overused that people just gloss over when I know I gotta have a better mindset. No, it's everything. Okay, it's everything. Okay, so other than that group of people, because there is the exception to the rule, most people don't want to spend $2,000 on TikTok, $2,000 on YouTube, $2,000 on LinkedIn, $2,000 on Facebook for a person to own it. Does that make sense? Because the risk feels high. And so, and it's contingent on your lead magnet. Well, here's what I do. If my lead magnet doesn't make money, I have a phone number and an email. And I will call them. And if I don't have anybody to call them, I will call them myself. Because you don't get to lose money. If somebody registers, right? Remember, you got somebody on TikTok, somebody on Instagram, somebody, and you might want to just say, like, if I was to ask you right now, do you guys like this strategy? Because it's a good strategy. And so what platform or platforms do you want to start with? That's my first question. Go in the chat. What platforms do you want to start with? YouTube, Pinterest, whatever. I have a reason why I started with Pinterest. There's a lot of successful women on Pinterest. And so it was a low-hanging fruit moment. If you have women as customers, right? Do I have men too? I do, right? If I was a corporate style person or I wanted to get, if I wanted to pick up corporate clients, I would probably start with LinkedIn. But do not think that people are not on TikTok or not on Facebook or not on YouTube. They are. I'd probably go LinkedIn, YouTube first. And I would manage my mind and see, can I really spend $2,000 on somebody in a month and get my money back in 30 days plus a profit, right? And the plus a profit has so much to do with what do you do with that lead? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, what do you do with that lead? I have people, and this is not an income claim, I have people who come into my List Power Intensive workshop, which, by the way, I have another one. The last one of the year is November 13th, 14th, and 15th. Just FYI, keep your eye open for it. Ads will start at the end of this month. We'll start posting at the end of this month, but November 13th, 14th, 15th, we'll have our last List Power of the year. But my point is that when somebody opts in for something, they opt in because they have an interest. And if they have an interest, that means that, you know, you have something they want. So if you just called them, you could find out like how deep that interest is. And I will tell you, when I send an email, and this is kind of a lot in the weeds, but if you opt into something, I typically have a 7-day email sequence, and every day I send an email out. One email out to the person who opted in but didn't buy. I have an email that goes out to you every single day, and then I have an email that goes to the unopens like 5-8 hours later, and another one's gonna go the next day. It's called an abandoned cart sequence, and it's 7 days. 3 days is not enough. It's 7 days, okay? 6 at the very minimum. And it re-brings you back to the offer. I pick up typically about 12 to 15%. Who has time to do this? We don't. I have a copywriter that I do not try and get anything perfect, because anything they do on that abandoned cart makes me money. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So if you figure out your lead magnet and you take today's strategy, I'm telling you, some of you guys can create your entire year's worth of income in the next 2 to 3 months if you, excuse my language, got off your ass and really took this seriously and stopped being afraid of needing to get it right and just said, what is my lead magnet and what is the next thing I'm going to offer? Is it going to be a $27 journal? Is it going to be a $27 health consultation for 30 minutes? Is it going to be a $9 tripwire for something? Is it going to be a $144 masterclass that you sell for $1,000 that you're going to give one time only for $144, right? Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Yes, the lead magnet is free. What is it? What's the next thing that you're going to sell on the next page? And if you have a copywriter, which by the way, we also have at hiremypeople.com, right? HireMyPeople.com also has copywriters. You can have a copywriter write a 7 sequence that you have forever, re-offering your paid offer. And you will pick up sales. And then whether it's you that calls those people, or you have, by the way, the best salespeople are your past customers or clients, if you have them, that are raving fans, and they're like, because most of sales doesn't have to do with the script, most of sales has to do with enthusiasm. The energy, when someone knows that what you offer works and they share it with someone, especially someone who has bought something, purchased something, it is a much higher close ratio. So let's break this down before we end. You need to make a decision on a free lead magnet. And you should just make that decision today if you don't have one. Then you need to ask yourself, what am I gonna offer on the next page that is paid? If you want me to build something like that, there's tons of virtual assistants out there, right? But if you want my team to build it, go to hiremypeople.com. Keith, on the Zoom link, you can drop that link there. I don't know if I've said that word a couple times, so I don't know if there's spots or not spots, so just go to the link and see. But there's lots of virtual assistants out there. I just didn't have all my virtual assistants in Hire My People for all the different platforms, so I started to go to all these virtual assistant sites, and then I realized, shit, I have to manage all these people. At hiremypeople.com, you don't have to manage them. For the price of one person, we give you a project manager that manages your project, and you don't have to pay any additional fee with that. Does that make sense? Yes? You get it? Right? And most of you guys don't need a full-time person anyway, and part-time people don't do good work because they don't make enough money, and so they spread themselves too thin. Do you guys get it? Our team is guaranteed money. They're getting paid every month. Does that make sense? So I actually can use them on multiple projects. Do you guys get it? Right? So you need a lead magnet that you have to make a decision on. You need to make a decision on, what am I gonna sell at the next price point? So that's, do I want to get a volume of qualified leads, or do I want less qualified leads but a higher caliber? That makes a decision on your price point. How did you answer that question? Do you want more people to talk to, and that's because you have a lower priced product? Or do you want less people to talk to because it's a higher priced offer on the back end, then offer something at a higher price? You get less volume for that second page. Then you simply need to call them and make an offer. Now, what makes this faster is, yes, a virtual assistant, but I have realized if I don't have a copywriter, and by the way, I have just nailed down on my private clients recently to enforce them to hire copywriters that understand how to get email deliverability. And the reason why is because there's a lot of brilliant people around me. You're brilliant. You have great ideas. The problem is you can't get them out of your head into money fast enough. That's what a copywriter does. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So whether you've done my List Power Intensive program, or you want to expand faster by using this idea with social media, I'm telling you, it's all about the leads. And if leads can come through a lead magnet and somebody's there to catch them, whether it's you or somebody else to sell, your whole life changes. Who just had a breakthrough today? I want to know. Any of you guys have a breakthrough today? Yes? Any of you guys? I hope so. Because the only thing that prevents you from taking action on something like this is fear. Because this is super simple. It doesn't require you to know more. It doesn't even require you to have more money, because it's monetizing out in month 1. You can have no channels. And I'm telling you, a TikTok specialist, so if I had no channels, a TikTok specialist is a great place to go. Why? Because you can spin up a TikTok page and monetize it pretty quickly. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you can actually they can take an empty page and create sales off of it, whether it's a service-based product or a product-based product. It could be network marketing, it could be coaching, it could be a doctor, it could be a real estate lead, it could be absolutely anything. See, the problem is you think you need to know all of this, and you don't. You need to work with the who that knows it. And if there's anything I've learned, is us entrepreneurs suck at managing people. Am I right or am I right? We suck at managing people. And I'm telling you, it even took me forever to use a project manager because I was so used to being a solo entrepreneur that even when I went into seven figures, multiple seven figures, even eight figures, it was very, very hard for me to use a project manager because it was a blind spot. My friends, we all have them. And I'm going to encourage you to take today's strategy. And whether you go to hiremypeople.com with my people, or you go and do what I already learned, which is go find a bunch of contractors or one or two to own a channel for you. The only difference is you will still have to have the courage because you will have to manage them. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I went to hiremypeople.com and started sending them my people. And I was like, these are some of the people that I've vetted that are starting to work for me. I need you guys to manage them. And then hire them like full time. Give them the money, hire them full time, and start building it out, not just for me, but for other people. You guys, this is how money works. Money loves speed. And we can't go at a high speed if we keep thinking, I need to know how to work all these platforms. No, you don't. You don't even need to know how to do a lead magnet. You just need to have the idea and the meeting with somebody on my team or somebody out there, a virtual assistant out there that's got some qualifications around this so you can execute on it. Was this good today? Yes? So for all my people on social media, I will be back next Tuesday. I would love next Tuesday to hear that you implemented this, that you didn't just wait on it for another week. You didn't say, let me finish this, tie a bow over this project that I'm working on first. No, that is the problem, is that you're thinking that you need to expand your bandwidth, and you do not need to expand your bandwidth. You need to have people out there working for you that are bringing you leads, and you need a lead magnet created by next week. If it's not created now, it's currently Tuesday when I'm doing this live. You could have a meeting later on today or tomorrow if you went immediately and hired a virtual assistant that could do this for you. I happen to have some, but I didn't even go to my own team. I went to other virtual assistant sites and started pulling because my team's working on certain things. And I'm like, well, I don't think I have a specialist there. I don't think I have a specialist there, because that's not what I focused on in my virtual assistant company. And then I was like, I can't manage these people, and neither can my marketing manager. My chief marketing officer cannot manage these people. Right? My COO, my business manager cannot manage these people. So why the frick am I building something that's going to implode on myself and require more of me? So I pushed them over to hiremypeople.com and I said, guys, this is what I'm doing. I need you to build it for me, and I need you to be available to manage these people. And so Stephen grabbed it, Kala grabbed it, and they started to do it. So that's what I'm doing to beat AI and the transition. I don't know what you're doing, but do not grow slow. You got it, my friends? And I'm monetizing within 30 days. In other words, I pay the fee for the virtual assistant, and then what I do is I make my money back plus a profit within 30 days. That's the way we afford our life and our team. And within 60 days, I want to be earning a monthly income for each of the hired that equates to 300% return on investment inside of a year. You can just do that math, okay? All right, you guys, sending you guys so much love. You guys on social media, I'll see you next Tuesday. I stream every Tuesday, except for the last week of every month where I go dark, and I have a flex week where I study products and programs, I study AI, I go get my nails done. It's called Flex Week, and I take it out of the office every month, the last week of every month. So the first 3 Tuesdays of every week, of every month, I go live with Shanda On Demand to help. All right, you guys, I'm sending you so